Hi guys and welcome back. In today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to do this acne coverage flawless makeup look. I hope you enjoy and I'll see you guys soon. Bye! To prime my skin, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Paris Infallible Mattifying Primer, and I'm just applying that all over my face, especially concentrating in the areas where I get the most oily throughout the day. For concealer, I'm going to be using the Kryolan Dermacolor DQ1 Quintet, and I'm just taking shade D7, which is this grey colour, and I'm using that to dull out any redness. So I'm just applying it using the brush and then bouncing it out using my beauty blender. We're not trying to completely cover at the moment, we're just trying to dull down any redness. For foundation, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal True Match foundation in shade N1, and I'm just applying this using the same beauty blender. It's really easy to get a natural finish, it's pale and it lasts all day. To contour, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Contour Kit, and I'm going to use the lightest shade. Now you don't need to use this specific one, you can just use a foundation that's 2 or 3 shades darker than your current foundation. So I'm just applying that with the brush and then blending it out using my beauty blender. Then I'm going to go back in with this darker shade, and I'm just going to use this to add a little bit more depth to my contour, and I'm applying this in the hollows of my cheeks and just along my foreheads to kind of just bring my big old forehead down and make it a little bit smaller. To fill in my brows, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Brow Wiz, and this is in shade medium brown. And you don't need to use this exact product, you can use a dupe such as the Soap & Glory Archery Pencil, or there are so many others out there these days. So I'm just filling my brows in and gently softening them as I'm going by using the spoolie. To carve out my brows, I'm going back to the Dermacolor Quintet, and I'm taking the lightest shade, which is D1W. So I'm just again using the Kryolan brush that comes with the set, and I'm going to outline my brows before using my finger to just soften that camouflage cream and make sure that the blending is flawless. To set my brows, I'm going to be using the Rimmel Brow This Way Clear Brow Gel. To prime my eyes, I'm going to be using the MAC Paint Pot in shade Soft Ochre, and I'm just applying this all over my lid using my fingertips. To define my crease, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow, and this is in shade Fawn, and I'm just going to apply this using a soft crown blending brush, and I'm applying it into the crease and just softly buffing that out in an outwards direction. To deepen that crease and to add some warmth, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Cognac eyeshadow. I'm just concentrating that eyeshadow on the outer V, and I'm slowly bringing it in towards the inner corner of my eye, concentrating above the crease. I'm also going to bring that eyeshadow under my eye, and again I'm concentrating on the outer third of my eye. Next, I'm going to be taking the shade Labyrinth, and I'm applying this into the outer third of my eye and gently bringing that in to the inner corner as well. This is to add some extra richness. Finally, I'm going to be taking this beautiful metallic shade called Peach Sorbet, and I'm just going to use a shader brush to just pat this onto the lid, concentrating on the inner corner of my eye. I'm also going to bring this under my eye and around the tear duct area and softly blend that out. To tightline my eyes, I'm going to be using the Rimmel Scandal Eyes Waterproof Eyeliner in black. To wing out my eyeliner, I'm going to be using the Artist of Makeup Extreme Art Liner Pen. Now this is my favourite black eyeliner at the moment. Its tip is so precise and it's incredibly black and easy to use. So I'm just creating a wing and just feathering that across into the inner corner of my eye. Now if you've made any mistakes or you just want to sharpen it up, then just take some of your concealer on a concealer brush and just neaten up the areas which you want to, fix. I'm going to take my eyeshadow brush just to make sure any of the concealer is covered and it's all blended perfectly. For mascara, I'm going to be using the Bourjois Volume 1 Second Mascara in shade Ultra Black, and I'm just going to apply a light coat of this before applying my Ardell Wispy Lashes. When my lashes are applied, I'm just going to gently push up on them to make sure they're fixed, and then finally I'm going to use my eyelash curlers to ensure they're fused together. Next, I'm going to go back in with that Bourjois mascara, and I'm going to apply a light coating of mascara onto my lower lashes. Let's conceal those breakouts. I'm taking shade D1W, shade D4 and shade D4.5. Using the back of my brush, I've applied those onto my hand, and I'm just going to mix them together to create a multi-tonal shade, which I'm going to use the Beauty Blender to bounce onto my skin. For a more precise application, use the brush and then gently feather it out using your Beauty Blender. The key with this product is to take a very small amount and to build it up very slowly in layers. You don't want to use too much. Next, I'm going to be using the NARS Radiance Creamy Concealer in shade Chantilly, and I'm going to use this to conceal my under eye area and also as a highlighter on my nose, my cupid's bow, my chin, and also on my forehead area. To blend that concealer out, I'm going back to my trusted Beauty Blender, and I'm just going to bounce to blend that out, and I'm taking my time because I want to make sure that the highlight stays in that highlighted area. To set my contour, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Contour Kit, and I'm taking shade Fawn, and I'm going to apply this onto the areas where we contoured. Now, if you want to use a drugstore dupe for this, you can use something like the NYX Taupe Blusher or any other kind of matte bronzer that you have and like. To line my lips, I'm going to be using the No. 7 Precision Lip Liner in shade Nude. Now, I'm not going to overdraw my lips on this one, I'm just going to follow the outline of my natural lip line. After outlining my lips, I'm just going to start filling them in on the outer edges, and I'm going to leave the center of my lips clear. For lipstick today, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Tantalizing Taupe lipstick, and I'm going to apply this straight from the bullet. For blusher today, I'm going to be using the Milani Illuminating Face Powder. Now, this is available in the drugstores in the US, but I'm in the UK and I managed to get it on Amazon for about £6, I think. To highlight today, I'm going to be using the Makeup Revolution Vivid Baked Highlighter in shade Golden Light, and I'm just going to apply this onto the tops of my cheeks, my nose, my bridge of my nose, and my cupid's bow. To set my face, I'm going to be using the NYX Dewy Finish Setting Spray, and I'm going to apply this all over my face before waving my hands like a maniac to try and dry it. Instead of using a powder to set my concealer, I'm going to spray that same setting spray onto my Beauty Blender and just bounce that onto those concealed areas. And here's the finished look, my ultimate flawless long-lasting acne coverage makeup. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and yeah, as always, I love to hear your thoughts on these looks, so please do let me know in the comments section below. And of course, please don't forget to give it a huge thumbs up because it really helps my channel out, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a video. I'll see you guys soon. Bye!